Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jordan Schreier. It seems some folks just can't catch a break from stormy weather. Right now here in the metro, it's looking pretty decent, but that's not the case for everyone in the region. For what we can expect in our forecast, let's check in right away with Storm Team meteorologist Lisa Green.
Well, yeah, we've had storms pop up this morning and just grow into some pretty big storms up in the northeastern part of our viewing area where we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. And now that line is trying to expand southward as well, as you can see there. We'll zoom in on that part in just a moment. But focusing on the severe weather first, a storm blasting through Baudette right now and continuing its way down into northern parts of Beltrami County too. We've got that warning, a new warning issued just beyond our viewing area, but the warning for Lake of the Woods in Beltrami County is in effect until 12:30 this afternoon for those 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and potentially some hail. Our hail size estimates here it looks a little bit weaker, but still looking at wind or hail anywhere from about a ½ inch in diameter up to an inch in diameter, but definitely some wind, some strong winds blasting out ahead of this storm too. Heavy rain and some lightning associated with it as well. This does stretch down into northern Clearwater County. It looks like we do have actually the warning has been extended down into that area too, into southern parts or central parts of Beltrami and northern parts of Clearwater County. So I just want to zoom back up on that area quickly. You can see the storm has moved its way a little bit farther south or grown farther south. So Clearwater and other parts of Beltrami County now including Lower Red Lake. Both Upper and Lower Red Lakes are included. Now zooming a little bit farther south, you can see that we've got some other cells that have developed. Monoman County, we've got one area where we've seen some storms pop up there with some lightning, also into Clay County too. So you may be seeing some clouds off to the south and east in Fargo, Moorhead. Those are moving eastward. So those particular storms not likely to impact the FM area, but other parts of Clay County. Temperatures are soaring. We're into the upper 80s in spots, 88 degrees right now in Fargo, with that risk for severe weather as we head into the afternoon, especially in the south and east. And looking at a preview of your 7-day planner, we've got some heat for today. We'll talk about our storm chances continuing through the day coming up in just a few moments.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. The Bemidji Police Department is asking for your help finding a missing 20-year-old woman. Tangela Aragon was last seen in Bemidji last night around 11:20. She told people she was going out to smoke and didn't come back. Authorities say she may have been seen at the PetroServe gas station and possibly got into a blue-gray minivan. She's 5'4", about 140 pounds. She has brown eyes and black hair. She was last seen wearing a black hooded sweatshirt and shorts. Anyone with information on her whereabouts should call the Bemidji Police 218-333-9111. One man is facing multiple charges and sitting in jail today after police say he tried to drive off from a traffic stop and then charged an officer in Fargo. 26-year-old Abraham Nai is facing charges for fleeing an officer in a vehicle, preventing arrest, and possession of marijuana. The incident started around 1 this morning after an officer pulled over a car at the 4300 block of 9th Avenue Circle South. Officials tell us when the officer approached the car, Nai was not complying and started to slowly back up. For safety reasons, police say the officer broke the driver's window. Authorities eventually got Nai out of the car, but he then charged an officer, causing him to fall. An officer and Nai were taken to the hospital for minor injuries. One woman is now in fair condition after she was airlifted to a Fargo hospital following a crash. It happened yesterday on County Road 12 in Polk County. Authorities say 63-year-old Dolores Fritz of McIntosh, Minnesota, was driving a vehicle that ended up in the ditch. The sheriff's department says it looks like multiple trees were hit before that car stopped. Fritz was taken to the Crookston Hospital and then airlifted to the Fargo Hospital. Her passenger was taken to the Crookston Hospital and the extent of her injuries aren't available. Now to the latest on those threatened raids on undocumented immigrants nationwide. They have started in 10 major cities, but at a much slower pace than expected. Gabe Gutierrez has more from Atlanta.
After protests this weekend across the country, today planned roundups by Immigration and Customs Enforcement are underway, though apparently smaller and quieter than what was widely expected.
People come into our country illegally, we're taking them out legally. It's very simple. It's not something I like doing, but people have come into our country illegally. We're focused on criminals.
Arrests had been expected in at least 10 major cities, including Los Angeles, Chicago, Atlanta, Miami, and New York. Small raids were reported in 2 New York neighborhoods on Saturday, but it's not clear if they were part of the wider crackdown. Several mayors are defiant, refusing to cooperate.
What we are working on is doing everything we can to push back against what the Trump administration is doing.
Volunteers in North Carolina even patrolled neighborhoods looking for ICE officers.
We are out today doing ICE Watch.
On Sunday, a top immigration official refused to say whether children caught up in deportation raids would be separated from their parents.
I'm not going to say yes or no to anything like that, because then certain people out there can write themselves off the list or find a way to play a loophole.
It all comes as the battle over the border intensifies. This video inside a detention center in McAllen, Texas, drawing outrage. Migrants shouting they had no showers as Vice President Mike Pence toured the facility. One journalist on the tour described a horrendous stench.
You're at your capacity here.
A second facility in nearby Donna, Texas, was less crowded.
I couldn't be more impressed with the compassionate work that our Customs and Border Protection are doing here at this facility.
A senior administration official says the goal of arresting 2,000 undocumented immigrants could still be reached in the coming days. But it's important to note that in 2012, under the Obama administration, ICE arrested more than 1,000 people a day on average. So a number that high is not unheard of. But back then, families were not being targeted as they are now. Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, Atlanta.
In our consumer alert this afternoon, get the credit cards. Amazon's Prime Day is here. The online retailer is promising more than 1 million deals in hopes to avoid a website crash like last year. But to get your hands on those deals, you have to be an Amazon Prime member. That will cost you $119 a year. But don't fret if you don't have a membership. Dozens of other retailers, including Target and Walmart, are also running sales today in an effort to compete. Coming up here at noon, doctors are working toward a treatment to help those suffering from a common vision loss disease. We'll have more on that. Plus, Elisa is in as she tracks severe weather moving across the region.